that you could join me? Why is this phrase so hard to say for me? Is it perhaps because I haven't spoken to anyone besides my therapist all week? Maybe. I'm Pixie, and I make videos about art and books. This video is gonna be a day vlog, and the reason is there's no there's no concept here. The reason is that I had a really bad day yesterday because therapy was really difficult, and I just had so much anxiety, and I've had a couple pretty high anxiety days this week, and I don't know, January in general has just been not good. So anyway, after yesterday, I decided when I was lying in bed falling asleep last night that tomorrow I will probably feel better, and I'm gonna film a vlog to kind of cheer myself up, because I enjoy filming, and putting myself in front of a camera tends to kind of perk me up a little bit. So here we are. I have some work I need to get done today. I have a Patreon video to finish. I post the Patreon exclusive videos on the 1st of every month, and it is January 28th today. So I want to get that done. Ideally, I want to get it done earlier, but as I said, this week has been a struggle. So Friday is still not done, but today's the day. And I have 2 different commissions that I could work on. I'm not quite sure which one I want to prioritize today. But after I finish my tea, I'm probably going to take a walk because the weather is really lovely. And I haven't been good at taking walks lately. And I think that's going to help my mood as well. Those are, in brief, the plans, and I will check in with you later. What up? It's me. I have decided that I'm not yet going to work on any of the 2 commissions that I mentioned, but I have a good reason. The reason is that I want to sit at my desk and draw traditionally before the sun goes down in like an hour. And the commission that I have started on already is digital, so I can work on that later. And I have started a traditional painting last night. And I do still need a painting to make the print for patrons in February. So I feel like it is economically justifiable to continue this painting right now. I asked on Twitter and Instagram if anyone had any questions that I could answer in this vlog, and I got a couple. So I will answer those while I continue sketching out this painting. Yay! Also, something that I'm putting off until the sun has gone down is editing the Patreon video. I recorded the voiceover, which was like the main thing that was left to do. And I'm gonna put it all together later. But yeah, let's draw. So we asked me if the work I do energizes me, which I think is a good question. And the answer is yes and no. It's dialectical, as everything is. Like, the tax stuff and the administrative tasks I need to do don't energize me. They're very draining. But when I get to draw, that definitely energizes me. Hi, this is Editing Pixie. I just wanted to hop in and clarify that I interpreted energize as meaning like motivates me and gives me like a reason to get up in the morning and like zest for life. Because I do want to be clear that even as much as I enjoy drawing, it still requires a lot of energy because it's a focus heavy activity. And when you're focusing, your brain needs like 20% of all the energy in your body, which is a lot for a relatively small organ. So it definitely does like take physical energy, but it can definitely give me like mental energy, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense and that you get me. Anyway, back to Past Pixie. One of the commissions I'm working on right now is for a client. It's for the front cover for an academic journal, and it's really I'm working with a really good editor, and sort of discussing ideas with her is really fun, and that really brings me so much joy and so much energy, and it's great. I really enjoy the collaborative aspect of commissions like that, but also like it gets me really excited that I can decide how I do this. Like, I can decide to change up my Patreon tiers, and I can like decide to an extent what kind of painting I want to make. Like this one. This is my thing, and I just get a big kick out of that. I find it really enjoyable. So yeah, yes and no is the answer to that. And like sometimes drawing is hard, and I feel like I should say as well, but the general sort of feeling I have is I love doing this, and I hope to be able to continue doing it for a long time. It's really hard to talk and draw at the same time, and yet I've been longing to do some streaming again. I like torturing myself, I guess. I don't know if this is right. Hello again. It's been a couple of hours since you last saw me. I started the painting, and again, pretty soon my body was like, no, it's time to rest. So I had to lie down for a bit, and then I had some snacks, and then I had a shower, And now I'm gonna answer some more questions. Oh, and I also edited the Patreon video, so that is uploading, and I'm gonna do the post before the day is over, so that's all scheduled and ready to go. But yeah, I gave up on answering questions while I was drawing because I just wanted to draw. So I'm gonna do that now instead. And Maria asked how I decide what art to put on my walls and if I change it often. And I don't change it super often, but in a continuous stream. Like, I like to have stuff up that I like, obviously, but I also like to have my recent stuff visible in my studio, even if I'm not a super big fan of it, just to sort of be surrounded by where I am at, if that makes sense. Like, it just reminds me of sort of what I've been trying and how I'm doing. And that can be helpful. But after a certain point, I'm just like over it, so then I will put it away and make room for the new stuff. The prints behind me, I don't know if you can see them, but they were visible in the Instagram story that I posted, so I thought maybe it's about those. I put those up thinking that I would film a lot of videos here, and I was like, should get that self-promo in. But then I set up a little filming spot over there. But I do sit here sometimes, so. But yeah, those are just pieces I like that I think are fun to have. To be honest, I don't look a lot at them. They're just sort of there as like little blobs of color in my peripheral vision. But yeah, thank you for the question. Speaking of my own art that I like, Sophia asked what my favorite piece of my own is. And I think right now it's the piece I call Moderate, the painting of the guy eating the apple with the starry sky and the boots with the fur. I'm sorry. I've just been having that song on my mind recently for some reason. But yeah, it changes pretty often. But I think that's my favorite right now. Because I think it was a new development. It was a growth. It felt like a qualitative step forwards on the journey. And that's good. I do want to be moving forward. Brandon asked me what my favorite part of my art practice is and how has my practice changed over time. And I think my favorite part of my art practice is that I change things up so much. Like, I'll use different mediums and try different things, and I don't have one set style that I always work in. I work in many different styles, and I like that. I think that makes it exciting to work. As for how it has changed over time, I'm kind of stuck. I know one thing that has changed over time is that I get slightly less overwhelmed now when I want to start a new piece. So in the past, I knew about making thumbnail sketches, for example, but I just felt so overwhelmed that I just jumped right in instead of doing that prep work, because I knew that if I didn't just start, I would kind of psych myself out and not do it. And I'm a little bit calmer now, And I do sometimes do thumbnail sketches and that kind of prep work. So that's a change for the better. I think also I allow myself to draw without reference more often now. I still don't do that a whole ton because it's just better to have something to look at. But I used to be a lot more strict with like looking at something and practicing capturing it, and I let myself doodle more now, which is also good, I think, because it's fun. Drawing is fun, y'all. That's a hot take, I know. So, those were some questions. Thank you for asking. I hope my answers gave you something in some way. So it's 7 p.m. now, and I'm gonna do the Patreon post thing, and then we'll see. Either way.
What is the news, Aragorn? He said. The Deeping Wall is taken, Lord, and all the defense swept away, but many have escaped hither to the rock. Is Eomer here? No, Lord, but many of your men retreated into the deep, and some say that Eomer was amongst them. And we must turn all our thought to our own defense.
Hi. It's almost midnight now, and I've painted a little bit more and listened to The Two Towers on audiobook. I just really wanted to reread the Lord of the Rings series after I had my yearly rewatch of the movies this year. I actually skipped the rewatch last year, so not exactly yearly, but kind of. And I'm listening to the audiobooks read by Andy Serkis, who, if you didn't know, was Gollum in the movies. He doesn't do the Gollum voice when he reads it, but he does do a lot of good voice acting, and his voice is in general very pleasant. I love a deep voice to read me audiobooks. It's just so cozy and comforting. And I haven't read Lord of the Rings since I was a small teen. Like, for sure not after I was like 15. And I'm 30 now, so that's half my life. And they're good books. They're good books. The least controversial opinion ever, probably. Lord of the Rings, a good series. But that is my opinion. So the painting is not finished, and I didn't end up working on my commissions today, but it's okay. I have 2 more weeks for the digital one, and I don't have an exact deadline for the other traditional one. It's a Patreon reward commission, because that's one of the tiers. But I want to get it done within the next 2 weeks as well. So I'm gonna work on those this weekend probably. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. It made a better end to a shaded week. It's been nice, so thank you. And of course, another thank you to my patrons for giving me hope. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Thank you. I already said that. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed. Until I see you next time, take care of yourself. Bye.